Well, at least it had some funny moments.
Pokemon! 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 Pokemon!
Hello everyone, I'm Dustin Benzel, and welcome to another Pokemon X, Y, and Z anime discussion. And today, in this particular video, will be the mini review of the Ingenuity Festival episode that we just got a couple of days ago, or whenever it was that it came out. So anyway, actually I think it was yesterday, wasn't it? Today's Friday? Yeah, okay. So here we go. This video is going to be about the festival and the preview for next week's episode. So anyway, let's jump right into the summary real quick. Clement and friends reach the Ingenuity Festival about crazy inventions and puzzles, trying to figure out how to open doors and stuff. Thankfully, Team Rocket were not actually behind it. I was worried that this was entirely a Team Rocket plot. It seems that Team Rocket was piggybacking on someone else's hard work, basically. Well, to be fair, they did create some inventions and machines by themselves, but the entirety of the trick house or whatever was not just about them, which was really good. So anyway, Pancham and Chespin are really good friends that like to hurt each other and laugh at each other's pain. Hilarious! James gets really close to Jessie. Oh no. Team Rocket steals Pokemon. Clement and friends say no. Silly Team Rocket, those Pokeballs belong to someone else. Team Rocket blast off. The end! Let's go on to the league now. No, okay, I'm just kidding. Let's be a little fair here and stuff or whatever. So, this episode, as far as I can see, was a complete filler, and I'm kind of glad that I didn't do live highlights, although you kind of did miss out because when I was watching the episode, I was like, what is this episode? You know, so you kind of missed that part out, but I'm glad I didn't do live highlights because that would have been a waste of space or whatever, because there was really not a lot going on in this episode. I really don't know what this was. And if you've seen my in the comments section below in my other review for the Gudra episode, you'll have seen in the comments I said, oh sure, after I say I'm not going to do live highlights and how uninteresting it is, it's somehow going to be related to making sure that you're going to have a fun time against Magearna. And quite frankly, I didn't see that at all. I don't know what the Magearna part of the episode was about. I don't know how watching the episode is going to make you enjoy the Magearna movie in of itself, unless Magearna is about puzzles and tricks and stuff. It's really hard to say whatsoever. But anyway, there was a nice rendition of, I guess, Kira Kira by Clement's Japanese voice actor. I mean, I'm not really into the whole music or anything typically because I don't understand it. So, and it's not something that I can like recognize unless it's an English song that I actually like and will play over and over again, or a song that I really dislike that plays over and over and over and over again. So I guess if you're into music, there's that. Although I wish the ending was less static and less about Clement writing a love letter, whatever letter he was writing. So, and of course, on the side of the scenes, there was just like this thing of all the things that Clement has been done. I feel like it could have been a little bit better, you know, maybe just have really nice shots of Clement, but or whatever. But it was one-time ending, I guess that's why the animation wasn't all that exciting or whatever. So anyway, also speaking of animation in general, what was up with this particular episode? Now, usually, if you know me and you've heard my remarks in regards to other things, I think at one point I mentioned something about Dragon Ball Super, not really caring about it, even though it had no reason to be in a Pokemon review, I guess. But what was up with the animation? Usually I don't notice because I don't really care, because the point is the animator is always going to be able to draw better than I could or animate better than I ever could, unless I have a superhuman ability to do that for me, which would be nice, but as far as I'm aware, I don't have that ability. So, you know, so it almost looked like, and I don't mean any offense to the animator, because you can't draw better than me, but it does look like the producers or whatever were just like, huh, who can we help animate this episode. We've got our big name animators doing like the league and everything like that. Who are we going to help design this particular episode? So it looks like they found some random amateur artists on the streets looking for a handout, and they're saying, sure, yeah, you can completely animate this completely filler episode, and you can feed your family for a week. That's harsh and mean, and like I said, they could draw and animate better, but oh, it was so noticeable in this episode. You could not. I'm not, like I said, I don't really care about the animation so much, but it was so noticeable on this that you couldn't. I mean, there might be someone who cares less about the animation than I do, who didn't really care, but oh man, it was, I was like, oh. And I didn't even go into this episode thinking the animation was going to be horrible. People were joking about the preview. I just went like, it's like, whatever, it's probably going to be like the same as usual. No, that's unfortunately not true. It was very noticeable, even for someone like me. So anyway, I don't know. I guess people need experience to get better. Maybe that's what it was. Anyway, right, before we end this particular review, and before we move on to something else, we have one more thing to talk about. Chessman and Pancham were amazing in this episode. Absolutely hilarious. Although I have to ask Chessman something in regards to something that happened to it in the episode. If something is repeatedly hitting you, like one of those toy hammers, those plastic toy hammers that kind of like, I guess you could like swoosh air or whatever out of it, or some plastic toy, not really a hard toy, but one of those like mallets or something, like, I don't know how to describe it or whatever, but it's kind of like, it's kind of got similar aspects to it, to like those things that help blow the fire. I used to know what that was called, but I can't remember what it is. Like those things where you go down like an accordion. Like, the thing on an accordion in regards to those toy hammers or whatever, where you can bounce it and maybe sometimes to like squeak or make a noise or something like that. That's kind of, well, you're already going to see a picture, so I don't know why I didn't think of that sooner. Sorry. There's a picture of this particular hammer. It's like, if that thing is repeatedly hitting you, Chespin, why don't you just say, I don't know, move out of the way? But hey, at least you made Pancham laugh. So anyway, I guess that's pretty much it. Like I said, there's really nothing going on in this episode. There were some hilarious moments. It was amazing in that aspect of people getting hurt, people being confused or whatever, but otherwise there's just absolutely nothing to write home about in regards to this episode. I guarantee you can skip this episode if you want, and it won't really matter. So anyway, let's move on to the final thing in regards to this particular video, because there really isn't much to discuss in the anime front at this moment in time. So let's go ahead and talk about the next thing. Kalos League begins. Mega Charizard Showdown. X versus Y. And of course, the scenes in the preview, we have Altaria versus Ash Greninja. Don't know if we're going to see Mega Altaria or not. Trevor's Keystone is in his camera, which is really cool. Have a little keystone holder there and just take a picture or Mega Evolve your Charizard, I guess, or whatever. And Sawyer closing his notebook. Not sure if that's important or not. Kabuki Trim Furfrou Trainer battles against Ash's Pikachu. There's a summary about a trainer who wants to battle Ash. So far, it looks like it's just some jerk or whatever that Ash ran into, and the jerk that the Kabuki Trim Furfrou trainer is being decides to battle Ash for no particular reason, just because to waste time, I guess. Because it's not like we could have had a 3-on-3 with Ash and that Altaria trainer or something, spend the time on something like that. No. We got to devote time outside of the battle, I guess, whatever. Anyway, Alon versus Trevor, Mega Charizard X versus Mega Charizard Y was the last things in episode. So I think this is just going to be pretty much straightforward. Ash is going to battle his particular trainer of the day, which is the Altaria trainer. Maybe we'll see Mega Altaria. Maybe we can see everyone being shocked and amazed by Ash Greninja, since very few people even know what it is, so it'd be nice to actually see this. You know, Sawyer closing his notes and being a little frightened makes me think it's because he sees Ash Greninja in its water shuriken form, something he's never seen before. Because I almost doubt it's about Tierno, although I feel like that's going to be something like off-screen or whatever. So that's just what I think might happen in regards to that. So I think it's just Sawyer watching Ash and being frightened that Ash Greninja is as powerful as it is. I guess that would make sense. So then, of course, we have that unnecessary Kabuki Trim Furfu trainer battling against Pikachu for whatever reason. An example, as I've already said, is Kabuki Trim Furfu trainer is just angry all the time, and Ash got in his way somehow or whatever. But I guess the highlight of the episode will be Mega Charizard X versus Mega Charizard Y. And I guess that's pretty much all I have to say about this particular episode. I feel like I am going to enjoy this episode for what it is, and the next one. And if you've seen my thoughts in regards to this, yeah, I am a little worried about how the league is going to go. I'm going to wait as long as possible as I can before doing my pre-league thoughts so far, of what I think so far. I really would like to see that third title. I really want to see it before I rage angrily at what the writers and producers are turning the league into, and I'm hoping for a full battle with Astrid, or I guess at this point anything will be better than Ash immediately battling Sawyer in the very next episode after the Mega Sceptile versus Raichu episode. So, but outside of that, I am at least hyped for the battles of themselves. Maybe not the quite. Maybe I'll never be hyped for the layout of the league. Maybe that's something that I can never hope for. But at least I will probably hopefully enjoy the battles in of themselves. And I hope we get some really cool battles. And I really hope no Pokemon gets screwed over for whatever reason that Pokemon would be screwed over. So, like I said, there's really not much else to discuss in regards to these particular episodes. So, the next episode the next video of mine that you're probably going to see is the E3 news and information that came around E3. Probably after that would be the Kalos League pre-thoughts in regards to that, and any other information in regards to that. And then, of course, afterwards will be, of course, my review of the Kalos League, the Begins Mega Charizard Showdown X versus Y. So anyway, thank you for watching. I'm Dustin Benzel, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.